Alexis Downie now joins the show. She's the host, reporter, and content producer for Duckstream, which is the 24/7 audio network of the Anaheim Ducks. Alexis, thank you so much for making the time for us on what I know is a super busy week for you because training camp, you said, starts tomorrow, and the first preseason game is actually on Tuesday, which I cannot believe because I am just wrapping up baseball season. But what is this time of year like for you?
First of all, thank you for having me, but it's been really crazy, especially because we're also launching a new TV network this year. So in addition to all of the buzz around training camp, doing interviews and whatnot, we're also trying to figure out what that looks like, here in Anaheim for this season. So really exciting, just quite a bit of work left to do before the season gets going.
Well, launching a new TV network is a huge undertaking. So, what has that process been like from your standpoint? Like, what's your involvement?
Yeah, we're still trying to kind of figure that out, but I'm definitely going to be doing some content for the network. So we're going to be on Victory Plus, which also the Dallas Stars are going to be a part of this season, and so we're going to be doing behind the scenes content, interviews, everything on Duckstream is now also going to be living on the Victory Plus app. So our fans are going to get to see, instead of just listening to the podcast, they're going to be able to see it as well. So from the content side, I'll be busy on that end. And then, of course, the game broadcast side, my team here is working on putting together everything that they need for that, and certainly learning quite a bit as well. I didn't, sometimes you don't think about all the different positions that need to be settled for, games and whatnot, but it's certainly been a lot, but very, very exciting.
No, it's whenever you launch something new, there's things that you never even think about, like legal
Yeah.
things and just like smaller details where you're like, wow, this never even would have occurred to me. But it's truly like an entire team process. So now I'm excited to see how that kind of comes out for you guys. But I'm curious for you. So you grew up in Ohio, you went to Michigan State, your first job was at Stadium in Chicago, and then you end up out in Anaheim. What was this transition like for you, and what was your reaction when you first got this job?
I was so excited to take on this new journey out to California and be a part of the Ducks family. And it has been nothing short of amazing. Honestly, I've loved my time here. I've been here for 2 years, but yeah, certainly never thought I would end up in California growing up in the Midwest. I did some internships on the East Coast, so I spent some time there as well. But getting the chance to move to California, I was really excited about the new adventure. And I love to ski, so I knew the mountains were close. I love the beach. So the lifestyle here is a great fit for me as well. But it's been so awesome being here, and just something that I can't say I ever thought my sports journey would bring me here, but very lucky that it did.
What are I know you said you've done some skiing, you've done some outdoor stuff, but what sorts of things have you done to really embrace the Southern California lifestyle?
I know how to surf now. So surfing would be one of those SoCal things for sure. Just immersing myself a little bit in the culture here as well, I think is something that I've tried to do, because it's such a diverse landscape of people and places, and even like the architecture here is a little different. So I think I've kind of traveled around a bit to see all the different towns, and outside Orange County as well, going up north to Northern California, even down to San Diego. So, in the short time I've been here, I feel like I've done a good job of trying to really understand the California lifestyle.
Okay, so when you started in your career, you were mostly doing TV stuff. So when you got this job with the Ducks, it was for their audio network. You're going to be just using your voice. So what was that transition like for you?
It was certainly different. I wasn't sure, I never thought I would have an opportunity like this in my career to change over to audio more. But I did know there was still going to be some opportunities to be on camera. But it was a learning curve. And I feel like it still is, because when you're doing a podcast, when you're doing that, just the audio side, you learn that you can just be a lot more relaxed. You can kind of just talk, really, because I mean, you're not all the time just within time frames and things like that, like how you are on TV. So relaxing, using more of my personality, just being a little bit more of who I am was something that I feel like has been a fun challenge for me to learn over the last 2 years. And I love it. I think it's such a unique platform that we have here in Anaheim, and I know our fans really love it as well. And sometimes there is like a nice no pressure. Oh, you're not on camera. You don't have to do this real quick. You only have 15 seconds for your segment. So I have a lot of free reign to do what I want, make the podcast what I want, that type of stuff. So it's been awesome.
So you guys are just launching now this new TV network, but you were the reporter and host that launched this audio network that helped launch Duckstream. So what was it like to launch this from the ground up?
It was amazing, and I'm so proud of where it is. And I mean, it was a huge undertaking, but I have to give so much credit to my team. We're a small team of three. My boss, Joey Liberatore, is the one behind this whole concept. He created it, and he's been someone that's been amazing to learn from. He knows all the technical stuff, but he also has a broadcast background, so that really helps in my role. And then my producer, Stephen Bell, he's been so helpful to me, helping with all of our shows, because like I said, we are a small team. I do a lot of my own editing, a lot of different things that maybe talent might not be doing all the time. So we're so proud of where it is, and there's so much more to come with it. So it's just been so exciting, to be honest.
I know you've talked about some of like the parts that are nice about doing radio broadcasting, which is like you don't feel quite as uptight. You feel like you can relax a little bit more, but it also comes with its unique challenges. So what are some of the things that you didn't necessarily expect when you first accepted the position?
That's a great question. In terms of the game broadcast, now that I'm a part of that as well, I'm on the pregame show, the postgame show, and then in game, I give reports. The descriptive side of radio, because people can't see what you're talking about, even in our podcast, if it's not on video, I always try to add a little bit more description about what I'm talking about, set the scene a little bit. And that's something you don't really think about at first, but you're like, oh, well, obviously they can't see this. So you do need to describe it a little bit more. So I think that was kind of a challenge a little bit. And then also just, I think for me was coming into my personality a little bit more, because like, as I was saying, it is a platform where the Ducks want me to be who I am, to share my opinions. So I think doing that in a place where, I mean, my listeners can't see me necessarily, so they're just used to hearing my voice. So it's funny, whenever I meet people, they say, "Oh, I can put a face to a voice now too." But yeah, it's had some challenges, certainly, that I feel like I've had to work with.
I actually love listening to hockey on radio. It's a challenging sport to listen to on radio for sure, but I feel like it's good for my imagination. That's what I tell
Yeah.
myself at least. So yeah, no, I love listening to hockey on radio. Um, but you were also one of the first female analysts. You were actually not one of you were the first female analyst between the benches on an audio broadcast for the Anaheim Ducks. How did that opportunity come about for you?
That was a dream come true moment. It was something that at the beginning of the season, in my first year, we were talking about this new theme night that we were going to have, Women in Sports Night. And when we were talking about what my role would be in it, I just kind of pitched to my boss, "Hey, why don't I go on the broadcast and be between the benches?" Because it was something you've started to see more females in that role. And it was something that I thought, hey, I could do that too. So it got approved, and I was given the opportunity to do it that night. And, very proud of myself for pitching that and not being scared to pitch it, speaking up and shooting my shot, basically. That's something I feel like I've done a lot of in my career. And I hope that there are more of those nights to come between the benches, but that was something that I really will never forget.
Okay, I have a couple questions about this. Shooting your shot in this industry, like it can be nerve-wracking for sure. And sometimes you feel like you're speaking out of place, or you feel like, do I like am I thinking too highly of myself or something when you do want to pitch yourself for a bigger opportunity. What's your advice for somebody that does want to be able to pitch themselves for an opportunity within their company?
I say just go for it. And it's important to have people around you that are supportive of you. So I always take the approach of, okay, get the support from those people that I work with or whoever they may be. And if I have that, then it kind of makes me feel more comfortable in pitching those things that maybe other people haven't even brought up. So I think it's a big part of being in the sports industry. One of the things I always like to say is you don't grow if you are always comfortable. You have to put yourself outside your comfort zone in order to grow. And I think that's something I've really taken with me a lot, and it has helped me. Of course, I've got my nose here and there, and you just can't take it personally because that's just how it is sometimes. So just going with it and being confident in your skills yourself really goes a long way. And I think that helps people trust you a bit more in the sense of, okay, I know that she can do this. So, like I said, it's good to be uncomfortable sometimes.